Folks, it is finally time for the Western College COD playoffs. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Cruz. We're going to be bringing you the entertainment for the night. Before we get into things, I'm going to start real quick with, this is your bracket. Real simple. This is your bracket after Ottawa loses. Now we're in the losers bracket. I'm ready to get into this, Jesse. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really good one. I mean, you can see above, we got St. Edwards versus Arizona State coming up first. But if you guys couldn't read and you didn't see, the little graphic that was on screen and you're waiting to get just, the final word from us, it was Texas State that reverse swept Longhorn Gaming just a little bit ago to guarantee our second match of the night will be Westcliff versus Texas State. I don't think anybody had that as the matchup coming from the top side of the bracket. So we are in for two absolute barn burners of matches here to close us out.
Well, this is going to be something that I don't think anybody would have reflected inside of, their brackets, Jesse, going through the winner's side of things. Maybe this is what we'd be seeing on the lower side of the bracket and when people are guessing, but we've completely flipped things out, and now that we're focusing on our head-to-head here between St. Edwards University versus Arizona State University, this is a rematch from Stage 2, and when you're looking at, St. Edwards' point of view, in Stage 2, you only lost to 3 teams, ICC, ASU, and Ottawa. Well, ICC forfeit, Ottawa's down, and ASU, they might be next.
Yeah, and if they could take ASU out, I mean, I feel like that's all the kryptonite, right? It's all gone at that point. If you're St. Edwards, you should be able to make your way through the West. Although, I mean, Colin, what are we saying? If they do make it out of this, I mean, they are guaranteed to make it to land at that point on. So we're maybe getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but still, I mean, that is your 3 main competition at that point. All sent down to the losers bracket, and that would be St. Edwards on their way all the way through to land. But we can take a look at these two teams, take a look at their season head-to-head, and almost identical stats all the way across the board. You can see 17-3 season record versus 19-2, and then give or take a map here or there, and you can just look at their win-loss records on all 3 modes, and they're almost identical.
Jesse, you know what these numbers are telling me right now? Game 5.
Went for a really good match.
Game 5.
Yeah.
That's what it's telling me right now. But before we get into that, let's get into the rosters. Introducing your home team, the St. Edwards University Hilltoppers. You got Thresh, the LatAm King, Eons, Vanity, and Reality. A team that at the start of the year, everybody was looking at to move mountains.
Yeah, and I mean, they are absolutely doing so now inside of this season. I mean, they didn't have the greatest Stage 2. They ended up going 6-3, 8-3 overall against Tier 1 records. But like you said, the 3 teams that they went up against, 2 of them already down in losers. Now they just got Arizona State to deal with, and they're looking like they're going to be really good. And so far, inside of the group stages in their first 2 rounds of playoffs, 5-0, have only dropped 1 map. They're looking really, really good.
Looking as good as average, Jesse. But you know who else is looking good? The Arizona State University Sun Devils. Across the board from them, you got Fishity, Affectini, Sprack, and Contra. A team led by Fishity himself, who has just been nothing but unstoppable for quite a while. A top team in CCL and a veteran, to say so.
Yeah, an absolute team of demons, right? This Arizona State team has been very, very good all season long, and Fishity, the main demon himself on this team. I mean, he is the off-meta guy, loves to run things that aren't inside the meta. I doubt that we see that here today, though, because I believe the Volk is still, G8'd a little bit. So I don't know what he'll be running, honestly, today, if anything, off-meta. But you know what? I would not put it past him to be pulling out something really, really weird going into playoffs here today. But this has been another team that has been really good all throughout the playoffs. 5-0, 15-0 map count, yet to drop a map. So, I mean, honestly, we can talk about all day long about the fact that these two teams played each other all the way back in Stage 2, Week 1, where Arizona State took the victory in a 3-0 fashion. But honestly, I'd be lying to you if I said that I thought it was going to be the exact same outcome here tonight.
Couldn't expect it to be the same. I mean, they forced Fishity to be on meta, Jesse, but I don't think it's going to affect them too much. Arizona State, they've been on their warpath, and I had them in my bracket going through the winner side of things. So I'm looking to see them put up quite the fight here against the St. Edwards University Hilltoppers. But let's take a look at our maps and mode for the day. Because, Jesse, when we start off this best of 5, we're starting off on Bocage. When it goes to that map 2, we're looking at a search and destroy on Berlin, Tuscan Control map 3, Berlin Hardpoint map 4, and at that game 5, a Tuscan search and destroy. How you feeling? What's your first thoughts when you're looking at this?
Honestly, when I look at this, I'm kind of just surprised we don't have Tuscan, Berlin, Tuscan, Berlin, Tuscan. Honestly, we get to sneak a little bit of a difference in there with the Bocage to start things off, and all that tells me is we're gonna have a very chaotic map number one. But the rest of the series, I mean, I'm feeling good about it. I think both these teams, you're gonna be playing very standard maps for the rest of the rest of the series. And honestly, this could end up just being a heat check for both these teams because I'm sure that both teams are very practiced on Berlin and Tuscan. And it's just going to be whoever comes out, plays better here tonight, will walk away with the series victory.
For sure. And when you're looking at this from the point of view of the Hilltoppers, Jesse, I mean, they just took down their nemesis from the beginning of the CCL season, the SIUE Cougars. So I'm sure they're feeling ecstatic about that. And moving into this one, Bocage might be exactly where they want to go. We've talked about this from what seems like the dawn of time. Bocage, it is a cage match. It is the icebreaker. It is the end-all be-all sometimes of what you're going to be seeing inside of a series. And I'm excited that we're getting this for a match one. I feel like this is exactly what you want to do to just get to know your opponent right away.
Oh yeah, for sure, because you basically just get thrown inside of a cage, hence the name Bocage. I know that's not at all what it means, but it really does feel like that sometimes, where everybody is just kind of put into a blender. You just fight as hard as you can all the way through, and sometimes you don't even end up getting to the winning score. It just kind of comes down to wherever the clock finishes off. Whoever's ahead will end up walking away with the victory more often than not on a map like Bocage. But honestly, I'm excited. I think that both these teams have very, very good rosters for a map like this as well. You've got talented subs on both sides, good ARs on both sides, that I think that a map like this will probably come down to the submachine gun battle and who's able to come out probably firing a little bit better in terms of that. So keep your eye on the SMG players for the most part. But besides that, honestly, I just want to get into it, man. That's all.
I'm so ready. I'm so happy. As sad as I am that this is the end of the season, so happy that these teams are putting on such a show at the end of the year, Jesse. It's always the same thing. You never know what you're getting in the CCL playoffs, and well, Ottawa drops into the lower bracket, so now we absolutely don't know what we're going to be getting whatsoever. If they didn't make it, which you know what, I expect them to be on their warpath through that lower bracket, but if they didn't make it, that would just be a buster for all brackets. And I can't see it happening. I can't see it happening. They lost to Westcliff, but I can't imagine them losing to anybody else.
Hey, all I'm going to say is that I had ICC going through, but I made that formal change on Twitter when I heard about the ICC roster problems. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take Texas State then. So if Arizona State and Texas State both go through the winner's side of things here today, I'm still looking okay, even though I technically had both those teams going through the loser's bracket. It's okay, though, because we'll just do a flip-flop. We can just hope after that, SIUE and Ottawa makes it through the loser side of things, and then we're all good. I'll still have my 4 teams through where we're Gucci, It's just not in the same way I thought it was going to be.
It's never the way you think it's going to happen here in CCL.
Never.
Seriously, I think that is just the way it goes. You never know what's going to happen at all. So when we get things going into this match, it's going to be a Bocage map 1, folks. When we're looking later on, I'm excited for seeing that Texas State versus University of Texas matchup, Jesse, because that's one that we might have thought Texas State would make it all the way, but who would have thought that the Mavericks would make it this far? You and I, we had our stocks for the Mavericks early on, Jesse, but to get this far through the winners bracket, that is it's a shocker.
For sure, yeah, I definitely didn't see it coming either. But Texas State, they got the job done, right? So it's they had to do it in a reverse sweep too. That was the scary part, right? Like you definitely did not see Longhorn being able to come out and do what they did inside of that. But Texas State, they slowed things down. They slowed the roll. They got the job done. But then, like you said, that's going to be our 11 p.m. match later on tonight, or whenever this one finishes, because this one very much so has the potential to go to Game 5. So, yeah, we really could see some very, very long nights. I hope you guys are energized, ready to go. If you're not already, go get your energy drinks now. I know you guys are gamers, so I'm sure you guys got them on deck, maybe in a mini fridge inside your dorm, inside your room, wherever the heck you are. Just get ready. We need to get ready to go for these matches.
It's kind of unfortunate that Westcliff and Texas State are going on later, Jesse, because you got Westcliff dethroning Ottawa Braves in the winners bracket and Texas State coming off a reverse sweep. I would have wondered what it would be like to walk into a Game 1 with those teams going off of that momentum, but they get to cool down. And maybe that's for the best of things, because when they cool down, they go over what we just saw. I mean, going into that Game 1, we're going to be seeing the best of both teams.
Yeah, for sure. And could you imagine being one of those loser bracket teams right now? Just, you're chilling, you're having an okay Saturday night, you are Saturday night? Yeah, Saturday night. And you're just like, hey, you know what? We're in an okay spot. And then you see Ottawa drops to losers bracket. You see SIUE drops to losers bracket. And now full has been absolutely lost at this point. You are not looking like you're in a very, very good moment to go through, and it is just not a great spot to be in there. So you know what? That lower bracket, you thought it was a gauntlet before. It's going to be an absolute gauntlet now.
Jesse, you want a little bit of a fun fact? Arizona State are 5-0 against SCU across both the blue team and the white team for their tenure in Vanguard. So,
oh no,
there's a little bit of a curse going on for the Hilltoppers against the Sun Devils, and this is where they're looking to take them down, maybe end the curse.
I mean, hey, curses are meant to be lifted, right? So, yeah,
are they?
We're you know what? Probably not, but they tend to happen to be lifted most of the time anyways. But we'll just have to get into it. Into the blender we go right off the rip. And it's just going to be a very scrappy first little map here. But this is exactly how you need to start. If you're St. Edwards, you're on the good side. You get a good break right off the start. And already off to an 11-point lead.
Vanity on screen, not for long. Arizona State looking for the break. Haven't found it just yet. Still stuck on that unfavored side of the minimap. You can see player number 6, Sprack, going to mix things up a bit, but he's going to drop as well. This has been nothing but flawless from the Hilltoppers so far, Jesse, in the openings of this hard point. And if they continue this pace, they're going to have a flawless rotation to P2.
Oh, but there you go. You get Sprack to push in from the front. He finds 2, and then the rest of the players now can start to filter their way through. Reality finds a big 2-piece through the middle of Barn. And this will open up a good opportunity now, like you called out, for St. Edwards to get the full setup that they need here. They need to watch for Fectini, though he slipped the line.
Slip the line. We're going to do some damage. Vandy almost not finishing that kill. You still have Arizona State in full control of those spawns at the back. A break from Eons with the help of Thresh. St. Edwards fighting from the front. In the corner is going to be Sprack, but Eons, he's got the rat, and you know that is a deadly gun to be holding onto. You get the break back in for the Hilltoppers, Jesse, looking to push their lead even farther. Another 2 go down. They're going to be spawning the Sun Devils on the opposite side of the map, and, I mean, this lead is just growing.
Yeah, look how far away Arizona State is spawning from St. Edwards and from this current hill. I mean, this is going to be around a 60-point lead at the end of this hill, unless you get a break here towards the end. Thresh is shooting people through the walls. I mean, if St. Edwards is going to be frying like this, Arizona State is about to be in for a very rough match. They need to answer back with a big hold here at the Grandma's Hill. You can see that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're going for the full setup here, and Fishity absolutely frying. And is that a meta weapon I see in his hand? How dare he?
I mean, it's a metal weapon, but I don't think that is the meta sight. So he's mixing it up a little bit. Even still, St. Edward's strong start. Looking to break from the front here. Through the side door, it's going to be Eon sliding on in, removing Fectini and his duo in Thresh just to help him out. You get the flip of spawn, so the Hilltoppers in full control of Grandma's. And the Sun Devils looking for a break of their own. Fishity going all the way through the back. Fectini is going to take down Vanity. 2 drop for the Hilltoppers. Fectini's got 3 down. Eon's now the only one standing, but it's all Fectini in the hill. He's got 3 in a row for the break.
And it was looking to maybe try to find a few more, but not able to get the regen back in fully. Will end up falling. And St. Edwards is able to just get right back inside of the hill, play this one from the backside, exactly where they want to play it from. And honestly, from a hill that was looking really good for Arizona State right off the bat, you still walk away with the majority of time here if you're St. Edwards and grow this lead up a little bit more here. And look at this, the rotation over towards New. It's actually going to be St. Edwards, the first people here. Big fights in the back. Vanity can win this one out against Fectini in the back. And now you've got full spawns once again here for St. Edwards. They are running Arizona State right now.
Hilltoppers have playing perfect hard point so far in game number 1. And Eon 16-6 looking for his 6th or 17th. Unfortunately, he's going to drop there, allowing Sun Devils away on in. Contra finds the break for the contention, but he's going to hop out for a moment. Hilltoppers still with the spawns, but look at this play from Vanity. He gets all the way in the back. They have full control. The almost trap that Sun Devils are going to be stuck in. Thresh is going to find the break. Last one is going to be Fishity, and as he drops, this is just perfect out of the Hilltoppers, just making sure that Arizona State, they can't get a drop of time.
We need to talk about Eons right now. Man is going absolutely off. Double positive. 16-8 to start this game off. And I mean, that's 16 kills through only 4 hills at the moment. Ridiculous pace. We'll see if we can keep it up at the moment. But now Arizona State will be the first team over towards P5, the first team here. And they're able to drop the player that was pushing around through the back. Might even be able to get the second as well. So this has the makings of what could be a very solid hold here for Arizona State. One they absolutely need to bring them back into this game.
Full control. What are we going to see from the Hilltoppers? Reality just around the corner. He's going to slide on in. Finds Sprack looking the wrong way, and just like that, Jesse 3 down. Clean as ever. It's a flawless break for the Hilltoppers, spawning out the Sun Devils all the way in the back Grandmas. So they make their way back. They're looking to do it with haste as well. Immediately into the hill is going to be Sprack, but Reality's just got his number right now. Now trapped with a little bit of help from Vanity. It's still going to be the Hilltoppers out and in control. And Arizona State, that was their chance that they let go.
That was way too easy. St. Edwards broke into that flawlessly. You had no put up of a fight from Arizona State in that spot. I thought that Sprack was in a really, really good spot, playing inside of the hill, but he was bouncing back and forth, looking up and down the staircase, leading in towards middle of the map, and unfortunately caught a bad timing, wasn't able to help out, and then as soon as he falls, everybody around him falls apart, the whole setup falls, and now you just get a good answer back from St. Edwards, who again did not allow Arizona State to walk away with a good chunk of time there. But finally, we're getting a good little bit of stabilization here from Arizona State in the middle of the map. They start to lock down a bit of time here, but they might end up losing out of these spots because Vanity's going rogue on the left side of the map.
Well, everything's happening at P1. Effectini has been making sure that he's hunting Vanity in the backline, but Vanity slips on through. He's going to find a kill. Contra is going to catch him still in that spawn, so Arizona State holding on to the better side of this map as Effectini on 4 in a row slides right back into the hill, looking to soak up as much time as he can in this P1, because you know, Jesse, they need every drop of it at the moment, but this is where you need the Sun Devils to flip things around and start taking control, because they are down quite a bit.
They are down quite a lot, but this is definitely comebackable here inside of this round. Fishty makes another big 2-piece, make it 3 through middle of the map. It's exactly what you need to kind of spark a little bit of a comeback here, and it looks like they also spotted out Eons in the back, but Eons will get the better of Sprack. He will finally end up falling, though, but he stays alive just long enough to make it so annoying and break the setup completely from Arizona State that now you have an opportunity to break if you're St. Edwards.
A lot of consistency across the board from the Hilltoppers. Let's see if they can use that. Break into this hill. Fishity's going to find the first. Fishity finds 2 and Sprack a 3rd, so immediately halting the attack from St. Edwards. Still, you have Eons finding a break. Well, everybody's through this, and oh my goodness, Eons basically folds them inside the hill, and the Sun Devils a little bit shaken up after that one.
They pretty much flip it out as well. Like, I don't know what's going on with Arizona State right now, but they are just not holding on to a lot of these hills the way that you need to be able to find success on them. They're getting broken very easily, even when they find majority of the kills. This is just not the Arizona State team that I am used to seeing here inside of this map, but they still have an opportunity. They just need to tighten things up, clean up the game plan a little bit here. You can still come back inside of this match, but the spawns for new go back towards St. Edwards again, and this is going to make this hill once again very, very scrappy once Arizona State was also still looking at getting the better time. This is just, oh man, this is not going well for Arizona State right now, Colin.
Contra's going to get caught in the attic. Thrash with forward aggression. Everybody from the Sun Devils looking for a way in. Fishity might have just given it to him. Crack from the side, he's going to take down Reality. That's 2 down for the Hilltoppers. Contra finds 3, and that's going to be the break from the Sun Devils into this hill. They flip things out. They take control. Now 120 and counting. Starting to heat up, Jesse, in the second set of rotations.
That was so needed. If they hold on to the back 20 seconds here, it'll bring them to what? Within right around 30 seconds of being able to get back inside of this game here. Exactly what they need. And look at this. They flipped the spawns out as well, so they're not going to grab the scrap time, but they'll be the first team set up for initial at new. And honestly, if you're Arizona State, with the scoreline of this game, you'll take that every day of the week.
Looks like they just need to heat up a little bit, Jesse, in this game number 1 now. St. Edwards, they have to be careful of how they tiptoe across this line, because the Sun Devils, you know that's going to be a hot line to walk across. Vanity's going to find Fishity. This is the way in now. 2 go down for the Sun Devils. In for the contention is going to be Vanity. He slides across. Sprack does get spotted out, but he's going to double on now. Take us at the bottom side. The stun from Contra. Oh, no. Sun Devils get broken into this hill, and now the Hilltoppers in control, Jesse. You're looking at Eons on screen. He knows the aggression's going to be there, and he's looking to his teammates to turn up. 3 down again for Arizona State. St. Edwards, they're going to cross the 200 mark.
St. Edwards is just doing such a great job of breaking late in the hills and holding on to this massive lead that they had early on in this game. The Arizona State has just never been able to answer back after that massive start that St. Edwards is able to find. You will probably get the scrap time here if you're Arizona State. Outside, if Eons goes crazy again, you will end up falling. But again, it's now a 55-point lead. We head back over towards P5, and look who's the first team set up. It's going to be St. Edwards here, ready to go from the top side of the map.
Shove Vanity down from 4 in a row. 205 to 150, heading into this hill. 5 Eon's going to hop in for time. Big kill into Affectini. Loses out on 2 teammates, so he's a lot of work to do. Unfortunately, not going to be ready for Contra to be swinging around into the hill. So as he drops, we pan over to Sprack, who was hot 4 in a row, but spotted out through that fence, Jesse, and another kill streak going to be ended here on this hill 5 rotation. Contra looking to play his life. The rest of his team slaying out around him. Vanity's going to turn the corner, but it's going to be Thresh to find the break. Inside the hill now, Vanity, can he stay alive? He has the backup, but he's just going to tuck around the corner. Fishy slides on in, finds the kill. Nobody collecting time. It's been a lot of back and forth pull. A lot of give and take, Jesse, in this hill. But right now, if you're Arizona State, what do you want to do?
I mean, you just need to get inside. You really can't allow St. Edwards to get any more time because you're going to get to that situation in the game where you can't even allow them to grab any more time very shortly here. But St. Edwards will grab all of the scrap time. They're going to be 17 seconds, make that 18 seconds away from closing this game out. And Arizona State, I mean, because they don't get any of that scrap time there, it needs to be perfect COD from this point on. You really can't afford to allow St. Edwards to get any time here, and they're already back into P1.
235. This could be it. St. Edwards to go down again. Arizona State, they need to look at the respawns to go big. Player number 6, Sprack, he's going to have eyes on. Removes Vanity from inside the point. Reality's going to take his pace. 240 to 173. Jesse, 10 seconds needed for St. Edwards to put it away.
Oh, Arizona State, they got the big 4 down that they needed. Now they just need to answer back with a big hold here. But the problem is they need to set up for new, along with holding off St. Edwards towards the middle of the map, because St. Edwards can still win it here on this hill.
Ready for the break. 14 seconds left. Plenty of time to put this one away. Desperation from the Sun Devils, but can they even touch? You're looking at them run into the hill. Thresh is going to cut down Sprack, and that's 250 crosses. St. Edwards, they take the map 1 against Arizona State. 250 to 185.
And I don't know about you, Colin, but watching back that, or not watching back, but looking back at that map, I mean, I feel like that map was just the map of what could have been for Arizona State. There were multiple opportunities inside of that game for them to run up the score, be able to find a ton of time, but just never at any point in time could they stop St. Edwards from just going on that big run. And honestly, Arizona State did a much better job in the second half of that game. But because St. Edwards got that massive lead off the start of, 60 points after the first 2 hills, they just held that gap throughout the rest of the game, and Arizona State never able to come back. And at the end, it ends up being a 65-point win. So practically just hold the exact same lead that you have and just never look back if you're St. Edwards inside of that game.
Well, you really got to reflect on how much pressure you can really put on when you have that winner's advantage, Jesse. I mean, Arizona State, when they started to get it done, it just... St. Edwards, the way Bokaj played, they just kept on contesting the hill. And eventually they'd find the break or the rotation or something that can get them right back into the driver's seat. And I mean, I'm sure it's going to reflect here a little bit inside of this scoreboard, but right away, what's going to point out to me is you're looking at Thresh and Eons, and I've been watching them all day long today, Jesse. They have been a dynamic duo inside the hard points, and I'm glad that they're keeping that strong inside of this match.
Yeah, they very much so have been tearing it up today for the St. Edwards roster. I mean, Eons ends up really slowing down towards the end of that map and ends up finishing 31 and 29 when he was double positive through the first 5 hills, but still 3,500 damage you'll never complain about. And then Thresh really picked up the pieces in the second half of that game, 38 and 25 with 4,400 damage. What a ridiculous game. Fishity did his best impersonation, going 37 and 34, 4,200 damage. But honestly, if they're going to contest with St. Edwards, somebody else on the Arizona State roster is going to need to step it up. Everybody besides Fishity negative inside of that map, number 1. You need a more well-rounded effort to go up against these insane players on the St. Edwards University team.
And that's going to bring us into map number 2, Jesse. I mean, it's a perfect way to talk about the second map in Search and Destroy when you're looking at it from Arizona State's point of view on when they want to bring or where they want to bring this one back. I mean, who are you highlighting? Who do you need to step up to the plate to be Fishity's duo?
I think it needs to be Sprack, honestly. I mean, I know Affectini played decently well inside of that map number 1, but I feel like there were opportunities for Sprack to really find a chance to go off inside of that map number 1, and he just kind of never lit it up. I think inside of this map number 2 with the SMG needs to find some consistent play here on a map like Berlin. Find those first bloods, get out, play annoying, be sneaky, just like be that annoying submachine gun player that we know Sprack can be, and I think that Arizona State will be okay coming out of this map. But who honestly knows, right? Like
Who knows?
going into a Berlin, I feel like notes are really out the window. You look at the S&D records of these two teams; it's 13-6 for St. Edwards, 14-5 for Arizona State. Like plug and replace one number on either side, and it is literally identical records, right? So it is. It's one of those things where, like I said, coming into that map number one, whoever plays better today is going to win these maps. And quite frankly, St. Edwards just played much better inside of that map number one. They walk away with the win. And now if Arizona State comes out and they absolutely smoke St. Edwards, I think we're going to be in for a very long series.
Well, you can tell when you're watching St. Edwards, the passion and the momentum that they're playing with just lit up that first map, Jesse. And I imagine that it's going to continue into the second map as well. So I'm looking at the Sun Devils to really stop it early, find a convincing round, find a couple convincing rounds, either to just heat check St. Edwards, show them that, I mean, this is Arizona State's chance as well. I mean, these are ranked neighbors, number 7 versus number 6. So these two teams, they should be, I guess, I wouldn't say used to each other, but on par with each other.
They're definitely not shy of each other by any means. They played each other, like we said earlier on in the year. And I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't expecting to see these two teams at one point or another inside of these playoffs play up against each other again, to have an opportunity to get towards the CCL land. And it really is, honestly, between these two. And let's not forget, if you guys are just joining us, Arizona State did 3-0 St. Edwards earlier on in the year. And like you were alluding to, St. Edwards either roster has not beaten this Arizona State team all season long. What did you say it was, a 5-0?
5-0 right now. There's like a mental
Arizona
roadblock
State
for St. Edwards against ASU right now. And when I'm looking at this iteration of the Hilltoppers, Jesse, the way that they're playing in the playoffs right now, they look like they've hit a new level.
They really
we haven't seen. I mean, this is a very inconsistent roster throughout the regular season, but it seems like they've just found that consistency.
It just seems like reality and vanity are stepping up too, right? Like, I mean, they didn't have the craziest map number one, but they did enough to allow Thresh and Eons to go off, right? And like, if you can get that well-rounded effort out of all 4 players while still having those crazy individual games from Thresh and Eons, that's where you're going to see the St. Edwards team really start to pop off. And we saw it inside of map number one. But that's a very crazy, very mixy map inside of Okaj. We're going to something completely different. We're slowing it down completely. We're heading in towards a Tuscan search and destroy. St. Edwards on offense first here. Pre-nades over the top will tag up reality. Needs to just back up, play their life for now. And Eons will actually end up finding first blood. This could open a lot up. And they are going to choose to wrap this bomb out over towards A.
Very wise man once said, Jesse. Let's get it on. Arizona State's going to open up with first blood, but immediately answered back from the Hilltoppers. 3v2 at the moment. You can see the bomb rotating over to the B site. Should be free as ever, as you're looking at Arizona State are on the completely opposite side of the map.
Yeah, Arizona State. They read the wrap perfectly from St. Edwards originally. What they weren't expecting was the re-wrap back over towards B. They get the bomb down. Doors are getting broken as well. But a 2-prong attack comes through. Fishy has an opportunity to still be able to win this round out.
Eons, no idea on the chase, but oh my word, he's got the slide, and he shot him down. What a play from Eons. I don't know if he heard the door open. I don't know if he heard a footstep, but he heard something. 3-0 from Eons to open up round 1.
Could have been a call or just something coming through. But yeah, he definitely got word of it. Turns around, finds the kill onto Fishy. And if you wanted any one player on Arizona State after that map number 1 in that 1v2 situation, it absolutely would have been Fishy, but not able to close it out. And St. Edwards, again, exactly how they need to start off a map. They get the first round victory on an offense on Berlin. Now Arizona State's just going to be looking to answer back by themselves here. And an interesting strat. They're going to send 2 players in through the train and now try to push in towards the A site. But there is definitely a presence of players here from St. Edwards.
It looks like if Fattini was raised on some manners, he'd close the door behind him when entering the train station. Although manners, they don't amount to anything right now.
So far.
3v2 once more. Contra and Sprack now against Vanity, Reality, and Eons. St. Edwards once again with the advantage, but Eons is going to... Oh, I thought Eons was going to lose that, but I don't think Eons is losing anything right now in this series. 4-0 start for himself. Contra last alive in a 1v3. He has the bomb in hand, but he has no map to work with at the moment. Everybody on St. Edwards, Jesse, has at least an eye on some route.
Eons is going absolutely stupid. That is never a fight that Sprack should lose from that position, and he ends up losing it. And like you said, just going to leave Cantor in a terrible spot. Now will spot out and will not spot out Eons apparently. That was some tunnel vision coming in inside of that spot there, and that's going to be a 2-0 lead now for St. Edwards, and a team who Arizona State's had their number all year long apparently. I mean, it really feels right now like SEU, and even more so Eons, has Arizona State's number at the moment.
I don't know if it was breakfast, lunch, or dinner, but Eons has been eating the meal of champions today, getting ready for the playoffs, and coming out like this against Arizona State, 5-0. That's major tippable. He's going to hop up.
He's eating some Sun Devils right now, that's for sure.
I wonder the calorie intake of Sun Devils.
I don't even know how to respond to that one there, Colin. We're just going to get into this one now. St. Edwards, they're going to take the bomb in through mailroom. And unfortunately, Fishley finds first blood. So this is really going to hinder this push as well. They can't really find a way out of here. I say that, but you've still got Eons on your team. We'll tie it up. And now they need to find a way to get this bomb inside of the mailroom out, though. That's going to be the hard part.
Well, however many calories it is, Jesse, Eons is still eating, so it's probably not a lot.
Can't be.
6-0 start. 1 away from that glide bomb. 2v3, but well, we've seen plenty of 2v3 clutches today, and with the bomb down in mailroom, there is the chance to recover it. Maybe even wrap over A, find a 2v1 versus Affectini. There's plenty to work with, but the only thing you can't work with is the time. 26 seconds to do it.
This is so ratty. I think every single player on Arizona State right now is laying down on their stomach in some capacity in the spot on the map, just holding an angle. No, I'm sorry. Affectini's sitting on some edge on the map. So, you know what? Might as well be the exact same thing there. But 8 seconds left. You only have so much time to push up and try to get this bomb down. And if Contra checks at the right time, should be able to stop it from going down completely. No, he won't. No bomb way. Will go down.
No way. Reality 1v1. Contra just gets snapped on. 2v2. Bomb down. And the Sun Devils may have just fumbled the bag. Eons already posted up in the warehouse. You're looking at player number 7, Affectini, to find this kill. It doesn't seem like Eons knows where he is, but he spots Officially. Should be an easy kill. It's glide bomb locked down. Affectini's going to turn the corner. 1v1. Reality versus Eons. 20 seconds to make it happen. Affectini, MSMG out. He's going to catch Reality looking the wrong way, and that's going to be a free defuse.
That 1v2 from Affectini was so massive. If Arizona State lose that round out with the positioning and the way they were playing that round, that would have been a complete breakdown. But they get it done just at the end there to close out that round. You could put a big thank you to Affectini for closing that round out there. Because, I mean, going down 3-0 to St. Edwards, we saw what they did with the big lead inside of the hard point. I know it's not the same thing. It's not the same game mode. But a big lead inside of any map will absolutely give you the best chance of being able to close out that map. And when you're already down 1-0 in a series, the way you lost map number 1, definitely not a place you want to be. So a great way to get some momentum back to your side. Now it looks like Arizona State wants to move this bomb over towards B with a full 4-man attack.
Victini almost drops the bomb there. It's Vanity lurking around the B site. Contra's going to get spotted. Well, a lot of information for the Hilltoppers to work with. But look at the minimap, Jesse. That bomb is pivoting all the way over to A, completely giving up the site. Sprack does fall, but Fishy makes sure to keep it even.
And they should have a relatively easy plant here. Fishy's going to actually wrap out the... Oh, he's going to wrap out fire. We'll end up falling. And what was looking like an easy plant is now looking like Affectini's going to need to go massive again here.
A 1v3. Contra falls off screen as well. Arizona State getting a little bit too far ahead of himself. St. Edwards in a perfect position. And Affectini, he's finding a lot of information here, Jesse, rotating all the way out of that zone. 30 seconds left.
I don't know if he saw him. I think if he saw him, he would have taken that gunfight, unless he's trying to wrap this over towards B.
Has to. Shots at a distance. SMG, I know it's the MP40, but Eons is not dropping. He's going to wrap on down at 17 seconds. They know it's going to be this B side, and you can already see player number 3, Vanity, adjusting to this positioning. But Affectini's on 3 in a row, and I like this call. He's just going to post up in the warehouse, hold this streak, carry it over to the next round.
Yeah, it's a risky play, though, when you've already are down 2-1 in terms of rounds, because now you're just giving a free round over to St. Edwards, who also already has full streaks. Let's not forget, because you did have an 8-0 start for Eons inside of this game, or at least a 7-0 start. Not sure if he went 8-0 off the start of this game, but he definitely has full streaks on the side of Eons there. So I don't know, man. It's a good play if Effectini is able to find streaks, but if he doesn't find streaks, it's a kind of a round just thrown away for nothing there, and a possibility of maybe you win that round out. So I can definitely see why you hold on to them in that spot. Nonetheless, St. Edward's going to make a very, very quick and aggressive play over towards A. They forget first blood, and now Sprack is just having to give up the site as well, just back right up to upper courtyard.
Effectini looks to fight fire with fire, but St. Edward's, they douse the flame. 4v3, bomb going down. Sprack gets eyes on reality, but immediately the disengage is going to go out. Should be bombed down, and it will be bombed down, Jesse. You got to watch out for player number 5. Fishty's looking to make a play around the back. It's going to be crucial for the retake. Fishty needs to find something to pull this back. Spots out on Thresh over the shoulder. Thresh jumps on down. Overwhelms Fishty. Going to find that kill. Sprack inside the side. He's going to be caught by Eons, leaving last alive for Arizona State. And St. Edward's, they run him over. 4-1 inside the search and destroy. The Hilltoppers, they have reached a new level.
So you got no streaks now on Arizona State. You have St. Edward's with full streaks and a 4-1 lead. They didn't even need to invest any streaks inside of that round there. Could even choose to wait and use it on defense here and just be really, really annoying to the Arizona State players. Because honestly, up 4-1, I'm trying to close this game out as quickly as possible, Colin. Just keep the momentum rolling on the side of St. Edward's, because right now it is absolutely rolling for the Hilltoppers, and they are just off to such a good game here. Arizona State, they want to move over towards B with the bomb.
Oh no. Contra 0-5. They stick him with the bomb, Jesse. Oh, Fishity. Oh, slippery snake. A sneaky, slippery snake. Fishity almost finds a second on the Thresh, and it's enough, though, to break open the gates for Arizona State to siege on into this B site, put the bomb down. 1v2 Thresh. Last alive. What are we going to get out of the LATAM King?
This is a round you need to win if you're Arizona State. I know Thresh has been shooting nukes today, but you cannot allow him to close this round out here. 30 seconds left. You've got the defensive setup that you want as well. This needs to be a round that they can close.
6 seconds. Both players from ASU holding hands towards docks. Fishity, Sprack, and Contra, they're going to get eyes on. Contra just hits the deck. Thresh can't find that kill. 13 seconds. The time is burning. Needs to make a move at some point, but right now, Arizona State playing him like a fiddle. They put their second on the board. They get the job done, Jesse, and they keep St. Edward's away from match point.
Contra doing his best Stellium impression here. Just bobbing up and down in behind the boxes, just trying to stay alive. Be annoying. You can absolutely do it too. Inside of that spot, they close the round out. That was one they needed, though. You cannot go down 5-1 against St. Edward's. 4-2 still makes it possible here. I say that, but we had a full sale yesterday on the CDL broadcast, though. So you know what, anything is absolutely possible. But to make your life a little bit easier, it's nice to be down 4-2 as opposed to down 5-1. And now St. Edward's, they took control of 8th last round on their offense very, very quickly, and didn't allow anybody on Arizona State to really make a move once they got inside the site. Looking to try to pinch out the site once again here.
This is cheeky from Effectini. I mean, he's just laying right in the middle. He looks like the rug in the living room. Although the rug usually doesn't move like that and walks right into the hands of reality. It's a trade 1-for-1 from either side, 3-on-3. Vanity's going to give the advantage over to the Hilltoppers with a big kill onto Sprack, opening up that A site, but most importantly, pulling Fishity back on over, and Fishity pulls himself on over, and he's got to find both kills in the side of that. Shut it down, and Thresh once again last alive.
It looks like Thresh wants to just wrap this through middle of the map. He's looking to try to find a pick here. That bomb is still down in a really, really bad spot for him. And as soon as he crosses, you got to imagine Contra gets that site. He does, closes the round out as well. This is getting really crazy, Colin. We get a 4-3 game now. Arizona State 1 round away from tying things up. And what's even crazier is before this round started, or maybe even still now, I think that there's still only one player on Arizona State positive, and it is still just Fishity. But they're bringing it back.
They're bringing it back, Jesse. They're bringing it back. So that's all that matters at the end of the day. You know, it's not how pretty it is. It's just you get the job done. Sometimes jobs are dirty, and you have to do them. In Arizona State right now, this is the dirtiest job you can do. All negative, but getting it done.
And now very quickly, Arizona State, they are just taking charge, going in towards the train room, trying to get this bomb down. They get it down over at A.
Oh, man.
And they get the first blood as well. Massive first blood there from Sprack. If they can stop the player pushing through middle of the map and Eons as well, they could really find a good amount of success here in this round.
I think Eons is the Flash, man. He's running through this map like he's got wheels for legs. Fortunately, he didn't have insurance, so he's going to get caught by the cops. Arizona State's going to stop him. 4v1. Vanity last alive, and he is in no situation to make a play. He's just going to cook this grenade. We'll see you in the next round, Vanity.
Having 2 players on Arizona State 4-0 or on 4 sprees, that's a very, very wise choice to make there, just to not allow to possible feed streaks here. St. Edwards, correct me if I'm wrong, Colin, I don't think they've used that glide bomb yet. So still in the back pocket for the later portions of this game, but it might need to be used here just to stop the momentum swing that we're seeing from Arizona State right now, because there was a possibility for St. Edwards to go 5-1 inside of this game, and now we're tied up at 4-4. 3 straight rounds to Arizona State.
The Hilltoppers, you've let the Devils back in. And that is not a fun sight. I'm going to find something back. Shriek's going to get called in. That's Eon's glide bomb. So much information, but it's not going to find a kill. And you know that the Sun Devils are trapped inside mailroom. Vandy's looking to head-on collision with Contra inside of B. Has yet to find the kill, but you know Contra's going to be around there. Sprack goes down. Numbers over to the Hilltoppers. Contra's still in a position to make a move, but Thrash is going to catch him out all the way from back warehouse. That's going to be bombed down, Jesse. And look at Eon's positioning. He's going to be all the way in behind Effectini. Takes him down. Fishy last alive in a 1v3. St. Edwards have found their way back in. They've bounced back. And right now, if you're looking at Fishy and you're Arizona State, you're just looking for streaks at this moment. 5 in a row. Eon's in one half. The rest of the Hilltoppers on the other. Bad time onto the Eon. Still going to take the gunfight. Rat in hand. Has to reload. Finds it with the automaton. Somehow Fishy's still alive.
How?
Somehow he's getting these kills, Jesse.
0 bullets, though, inside the Rat. Just needs to reload 1, if not both of the guns at the moment. But you can see St. Edwards,
no
those
way
2
he gets
players, they're
7.
just focused on trying to get this round out. Oh, it's going to be close. No, he's not going to make a challenge, I don't think, towards trying to find these last kills. Maybe going to look for the player up top warehouse, thinking there's a player in that normal spot. But St. Edwards closed the round out there. That was a kill you need to get. But now Fishy has an opportunity to find those streaks off the early portions of this round. And if they find streaks and win this round, Arizona State could go into the final round tied 5-5 with streaks in hand as well. All eyes are on Fishy right now.
All eyes on the captain of the Sun Devils. You already used your glide pod for your Eon, so luckily you found the round win, Jesse, because you forced everybody into the mailroom, and that could have got a little out of hands. Free fire cross, oh my word, that could have been number 7 right then and there. Vanity gets to live another day inside of the offices as Sun Devils, they have decided they want to take control. Vanity's going to remove Sprack from the inside. Effectini looking for the trade, but he's going to dip on out, take what they have, and get on out of there.
Yeah, they just need to wrap. They know that there's a lot of people over here right now for St. Edwards that they just need to wrap. But Fishy trying to get sneaky through middle of the map will get shut down. And now a 2v4 where Arizona State, Effectini, and Contra 3-6 and 4-6 need to try to find a way to work a plant towards one of these 2 sites and find a pick inside of this round. But it's going to be Effectini that gets shut down, and now it's Contra all alone. 1v4 to force a round 11.
And that's bombed down, so Contra in a sinking ship right now. 33 seconds to make a play. All eyes on you. Eons is going to tag him down to 6. All information now going to be there. Contra, how much can you do in this situation with 24 seconds? None at all. Eons is going to shut the door. And St. Edwards up 2-0 in this qualifier matchup. Jesse, when I think they look good, they just look better in the next one.
I'm just glad that they invested the streak in round 9. It was a 4-4 tie. Arizona had all of the momentum at that point of the game. They had just brought it back down from a 4-1 deficit. They bring it all the way back to 4-4. But you invest a streak, you push everybody inside mailroom, and you have all the information in the world. You got one ISO'd out inside of the B site. The rest of the 3 players in through middle of the map. They work the picks perfectly. They use the information to perfection. They win the round out. They don't allow Fishy to get streaks either. And they close it out. Honestly, if I was Fishy there inside of that round number 9, I think after you get the first kill in the back, instead of just running away, I think you play a little bit more aggressively there, just to find one more pick to give yourself that streak going into round 10, so to give you that possibility for round 11 if you need it. but instead he had to play passive in round 10, which, I mean, I don't think is ever Fishity's game to play passive and kind of sit back and wait to find the pick, and they don't end up getting it. And St. Edwards, they take full advantage, they win the game out.
Take a look at the scoreboard, Jesse, after that search and destroy. Again, it's just been eons, start to finish. He is just lighting up Arizona State, and he just seems like a non-stop machine sometimes. Yes, he's going toe-to-toe with Fishity, who's 10-7 inside the search and destroy, but every single time you need somebody to show up for St. Edwards, Eons, he's there. He finds that streak, he uses it to trap Arizona State back in that last little bit round, and ultimately the Hilltoppers really can rely on Eons a lot in this series.
Well, we've seen a multiple of different reverse sweeps so far throughout these CCL playoffs. So who knows? It's definitely not out of the question yet for Arizona State to be able to come back in. But I tell you what needs to be done. Fishity needs some help right now. The Fishman needs some help right now. Arizona State.
Said it.
It cannot be a one-man show. Everybody needs to step up to the plate right now. Fectini, Sprack. It needs to be a better showing here going into the control. It's going to be a Tuscan control as well. So offenses are going to be really, really slim to come by. It's going to be very, very tough. But if you can get that final defense and just, close out one game, get a little bit momentum rolling into your way. You saw what momentum could do inside of that search and destroy once they started to get some going their way. They started to get on a roll. They just need to get some going to their favor, because right now it just feels like everything they try to do, St. Edwards doesn't answer to.
They always have an answer. It really seems that way. But folks, right now, you're watching the CCL playoffs. My name is Seymour. That's Cruz. You got to get your broom out during this break, because Hilltoppers are looking to 3-0 sweep the Sun Devils here and now. We'll cut to a break. When we come back, we got the control on deck. Folks, welcome back to the Western CCL playoffs. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Cruz. We're looking at a 2-0 lead for the St. Edwards Hilltoppers over the Arizona State Sun Devils. And Jesse, if you asked me if this is how this was going to go, I would not have painted this picture that we have in front of us. A 2-0 lead that has been nothing but fantastic out of the Hilltoppers. They look great today.
Yeah, they really do. Everything that you've seen from Arizona State has just been answered back full-heartedly from the St. Edwards University Hilltoppers today. They have looked so good. That map number 1, if you guys did not come in and you didn't see that map come through, they got like a 60-point lead after the first 2 hills. Never looked back. It was all St. Edwards inside of map 1. And you know what? Map 2 started very similar. It was a nice 3-0 lead, 3-1 lead for St. Edwards. Arizona State, though, they did claw their way back in. They got back to like a 4-4 game before St. Edwards was able to close the game out. So I feel like these first 2 maps are kind of maps that Arizona State's sitting there like, damn, what could have been? But there's still an opportunity to close it. There's still an opportunity to turn it around and bring yourselves back inside of this series. And I said it before the series started. I said I think we're going to get a 5-game series between these two, and I'm sticking to it. I think we're going to see these next 2 games go to Arizona State. I think we're going to see a Tuscan S&D here tonight.
Well, Jesse, I was taking a look at those stats earlier, and I said this has the making of a Game 5, but St. Edwards, they had a different idea when they were starting this one up. And it brings us back to the stats, Jesse. St. Edwards, they have never beaten Arizona State in this 2022 season across both teams. So a win here would be history for the team, not only with taking down the Sun Devils, but punching their ticket into the LAN. And starting off on defense hasn't been their best suit just yet. Arizona State have done a good job at gaining progression towards the A zone, and it seems like the Hilltoppers have chalked it up, but Arizona State, they're not even capturing A anymore.
Yeah, I like this play from Arizona State. They realize there's nobody pushing towards A, so they're like, hey, you know what? Let's just make a wrap over towards B now. Let's catch them off guard a little bit, and they have found the first. Unfortunately, can't find Vanity. He will take down 1. Fishity right there for the trade. So they're going to try to keep making this break into B. It's not going to end up working out. So this could actually get really scary now for Arizona State, because you do have an opportunity for St. Edwards to be able to fly out and pick them now off spawn.
Oh, you still have Contra here, but reality looking to be the cleanup crew. Although Contra's making a lot of noise over to B still. It's going to force St. Edwards into a little pickle as they completely flip the map out. They take care of business over towards that A zone. They don't let it get capped, Jesse. And Contra now on a mission over towards B. It's just realistically, how much can he get done in this position?
Well, apparently a lot. We'll find another one. 3-0 on the map right now. He's still yet to die. And in fact, he will also find Eons inside the hill. So they can now hop onto B, continue to rake this time up a little bit here. Unfortunately, with Contra going down, it's going to leave Fectini in a little bit of a rough spot. He'll end up falling as well, but not before they get their first tick of progress over at B.
It's big moves to be able to put the A zone away, but you do have Eons here. Big name on the block so far for St. Edwards to deal, hopefully, the last blow into the A zone. Although when he gets cleaned up, you can see the rest of the St. Edwards Hilltoppers fall. And that's going to be the A zone done and dusted, Jesse. And the time clock burned even more. This is a little cheeky spot from Fishy. He hops up. He's going to have 5 in a row. Look for number 6. Reality already tagged down low. He's going to be cleaned up. And Fishy might just be on his way to streaks.
Oh, and if they find Thresh, they have a very good opportunity now to hop onto this hill. Unfortunately, 2 players will end up falling, though, so they need to kind of just stagger this push. Wait it out, and no, they are not able to. As soon as Fishy falls in the back, Contra will fall inside of the hill. And now Arizona State, I mean, it was looking really good. They had an awesome opportunity to hop on to be there, but nothing comes through from it. And now you have an opportunity, if you're St. Edwards, to fly forward. The problem right now, though, is you have a minute now, St. Edwards, to hold off, and only 6 lives remaining.
Look at Eons. He gets the call that everybody on the Sun Devils have slipped their way through. Now it's his turn to close the door. And the back line, he's going to get eyes on to Factini. Almost doesn't finish off the kill. Only going to get it done. Vanity, though, will be traded out. Contra trying to make some work over towards B, but as he falls, last one's alive is going to be Fishy. He manages to get onto the zone. Will stop the clock just yet 40 seconds, and I think that's something that's been really good for the Sun Devils so far, stopping the clock, making sure that they always have something to work with. Now it's a 6v3. St. Edwards looking to clutch up in the last little bit. Fishy again on the contention. Vanity's going to clean him up. He has a second one. This is
oh no!
Oh no!
They absolutely just held them off. St. Edwards, 26 seconds left. It was looking so bleak. It was a 6-life lead, 6-12. But now it's a 3-3. It's anybody's game. Arizona State looking to make a wide wrap here. Send 3 players all across the map to hit this out. And first blood goes to Thresh.
2v3. Arizona State heartbroken at this round number 1. Effectini, the last alive. He's going to hit the road. Take a different route to radio. Hop on down, but he's jumping into the arms of St. Edwards. And that's going to be round 1. Clutched up, iced up from the Hilltoppers, Jesse, if you ask me. And again, I'm going to say it. Sun Devils, they're heartbroken.
That cannot happen. That simply cannot happen in that spot. At that point, just stack the hill and finish it off. But they were trying to just leave one on the hill and go for kills in that spot. I think what they were really trying to do was get the final couple of ticks of progression. But at that point, just ice the first round. Just finish off an offense. It's hard enough to get an offense done as it is. But St. Edwards, they're able to close it out. They're able to bring it back. And you just put Arizona State in a really bad spot. And if Arizona State was feeling rough before, in terms of not being able to take maps or rounds off of the St. Edwards team, that is not going to do good for the confidence.
Arizona State, they are so down bad right now, Jesse.
Down horrendous.
And right now, St. Edwards, this is their chance to really put them down in the series. Already captured A, 2 minutes and 15 seconds to work with. A small life lead, but a life lead nonetheless. Vanity slips the line into Church. He's going to take down Effectini, give a little bit of leeway for the respawns to get out of there as well. And it would have been a big kill into Sprack, but he wasn't ready for it.
And if you're St. Edwards right now, you still have a 2-life lead. You've got 3 ticks of progression in over at the A zone. This needs to be an answer back here from Arizona State. And if they can do it without allowing any ticks of progression coming in from St. Edwards here onto this B zone, it will still be like they have the advantage coming out of the first round. Just not in the same way that you would have had if you actually, took the offense.
Brass gonna climb the ladder, finds one, traded out immediately. Thresh gets cut down by Fishy, so back and forth, but Arizona State, they're okay with that. They weather the storm, they slow things down. A little bit of breathing room now to work with, Jesse. Hilltoppers off to respawn it. Looks like they're going to go to a default 1-2-1 setup. See if they can punch a hole in the Sun Devils lineup.
Well, they catch Sprack, getting a little bit too aggressive through top plat. But Effectini's in a perfect spot just to shut things down if they do try to push out. And once again, they stagger the push completely from St. Edwards. And the life lead that was there, completely gone now, tied up at 19-19. And it actually looks like Fishy on a 4 spree. Wants to get it all the way aggressive through the rooftop side of the map as well.
This just isn't good enough right now from the Hilltoppers on their offense. They can't keep pulling on through a bottleneck choke like this. Fishy on 5 in a row, slides on down, almost takes down Eons, but that's going to be the shutdown that you need if you're Hilltoppers right now. 18 lives to 17, 41 seconds to work with here. So once again, they're all grouped up, Jesse, but this is exactly where the Sun Devils want you. Effectini set up, and Eons, he's flying. Sprack for the trade. Fishy keeps it even. Vanity with a well-placed nade is going to allow St. Edwards to hop into this point. Fishy gets taken down, and this is their chance to put some ticks on the board.
That was massive trades from St. Edwards, and that grenade over the top really staggers the defense from being able to come back in quickly from the side of Arizona State. Vanity tries to keep flying forward, but this wrap through middle of the map from Fishty's absolutely massive. Will completely stop this push here from St. Edwards and leave Eons as the only player push forward. He will hop onto the hill and stop with 13 seconds left here. But realistically, all Arizona State need to do now is pull the clock back and not allow St. Edwards to touch the hill, and they'll close this round out.
A kill on Contra there would have been everything. Or Eons on the inside of the hill this time. Thrash, little Hail Mary play right now, finds two. Almost snaps to a third, but 8 HP, not a lot to work with. 3 seconds are going to cut down, and that's going to be round number 2. Going the way of Arizona State, Jesse. They weather the storm, they bounce back, even at a life disadvantage the whole time.
And I know you don't win that round out if you're St. Edwards in that spot, but at least you get the 4th particular progression. So we're practically still at a complete tie game through those first 2 rounds, although Arizona State very much so should be up 2-0 here in this game. They make a big mistake inside of round number 1, but their plan and their play inside of that first round was, let's get onto A, and as soon as we get onto A, let's fly out, find as many kills as we can, and get a big life lead in our favor. And honestly, if they just closed it out playing the way they started and kept going for kills, they would have closed and won that round out. If they can find the similar amount of success here in this round, they should be able to do the same thing.
Great break off for the Hilltoppers. They deny the first ticket progression. They have allowed somebody to slip the line. It's going to be Sprack inside Bunks. At the moment, in full control of the A zone. Sprack's going to give himself away. Immediately, you can see that St. Edwards, they pivot around. They're looking to clean him up relatively quickly, and Eons will catch him out. So now Arizona State, all their eggs are going to have to be in this A zone basket for now as they run over Reality and Vanity. Effectini is going to catch Eons as well. It's 3 down. Their chance to put away the A zone.
Absolutely is, and they continue just to fly forward. I'm very curious to see if they're going to go for the full cap at A here, or if they're going to try to play for kills. And it looks like with 3 players flying forward, they were going to play for kills. Eon actually hits a massive nade over the top as well to find the player that was sitting inside of A. So only 2 ticks of progression will come through. And there's a very real opportunity here now for St. Edwards to stop this push from going down, and they absolutely do.
3 go down immediately. Zone doesn't get captured. 50 seconds. Oh no, the beatdown onto Effectini from Reality. He came out for a little bit of a boxing match today. Eons wants a little bit more. He's going to get over aggressive. Contra's watching. Give you the chance back onto the A zone. It looks like St. Edwards finally going to concede this as well. As you look at Vanity's positioning, this is a really good position, Jesse, to pick off a way of these respawns. He's going to find Fishty immediately traded, but that should slow down this offense.
You kind of smoked Fishity there, and they've completely staggered any push from Arizona State. Arizona just needs to kind of back up, wait for each other to now come off spawn so they can try to fight their way out. You can see Fishity wants to get forward. He wants to get it. He's feeling a little antsy here, but they just don't have the power at the moment to be able to do so. And with Eons cutting you off right now, the way that he is, the way that he's been playing this entire series, makes it that much harder here. But you can see Arizona setting up for a 2-player stack through Command Center now to try to push out top plat. And they both fall to Vanity. Ooh. And that's going to completely wipe another push there from Arizona.
Eons, he's been that guy, but so has the rest of the team. St. Edwards stepping up to the plate when they need to. 15 lives to 9. Complete control. Vanity's going to catch Contra looking the wrong way. It's another one down. Another one not to worry about. Thresh takes down Fishity as well, so it's going to be even slower, this offense for Arizona State. It's realistically, Jesse, with 7 lives left, they only have 1 more chance at breaking this hill.
There is still an opportunity, though. We've seen St. Edwards come back from a huge deficit last time, but on defense, much easier to do than on offense here. But they'll try to fly forward. Oh, and as soon as one goes down, this makes this push so much harder to do.
Contra has the backup there. Shrek and Effectini open things up. They're going to hop onto the B zone, stop the clock at 23 seconds. Effectini still holding the line as well. The nades are going to ring up from the respawns. Thresh looks like he wants to push on through. Coming around inside this hill is going to be Sprack. 3 go down again. Still holding strong, Jesse. 7 lives to 4. No more respawns for the Sun Devils. You look at Vandy. He's looking to smoke them from behind. Unfortunately, Fishity, he's got the read. This one's going away. It's falling apart. Jesse inside the round. They slide on in, but right to their death. And Arizona State, again on a clutch. It looked well over, but they never give up.
What is going on these Arizona State offensive rounds? I mean, the round that they should win, they lose. The round that they should lose, they win. I mean, if that doesn't speak Western playoffs, I don't know what does, Colin, here. Nobody can close a round out when it's in the bag, and they absolutely close it off here. And now St. Edwards, now your job has just gotten that much harder. You now need to win an offense. And honestly, if you're St. Edwards here, you need to do it by ticks as well. You can't just do it by getting kills like we just saw at the very end there, because it is not looking good. Arizona State, fantastic.
Well, you give them an inch, they take a mile, Jesse. You never want to wake up to a nightmare, but it seems like Arizona State, they are their nightmare, and they've woken up here and now inside Game 3. It's a huge clutch to give them a little bit of a breath of life. Let's see what they can do with it on defenses. It's a great break-off so far from St. Edwards. They get a little bit too aggressive, and it's going to cost them. You're looking at Thresh now on an island. Has Eons, has his teammates here off the respawn. They're going to reach him. The stack at B, it's going to make the zone go by so fast, but you look at the rebuttal from Arizona State, and they only allow a tick through.
I mean, still a tick of progress over towards B helps out a lot, just to kind of give you a chance at being able to get that zone a little bit later on inside of the game. While that was going on as well, a second tick of progress will go through. Vanity's been sitting on A practically the whole time. Finds a massive two-piece as well now. So there's a very real opportunity that they could close out A if they choose, but instead Vanity's going to try to fly forward.
Vanity here should catch Sprack. Shots from behind. 2 minutes and 5 seconds now to work with. The A-zone gets cleaned up now. All eyes on B, Jesse. A 2-life lead for St. Edwards, but I mean, this is exactly what we saw last time they were on the offense, and they weren't able to get it done.
It just comes down to grouping up and playing together. They had an opportunity inside of their last offense to break their way in, but they never got that full 4-man wipe where they were able to push it and get onto the site. But here they go, 3 for 1, but no, instantly trades come through. And because of how close the defense spawns, Arizona should be in a very real spot to be able to hop back into this hill.
Vanity continues to push themselves out. Looking to stop this time and hold the time down at 1:35. He's going to hop off, find Sprack 2 down, 3 down. Reality's going to hop off to put this one away, and as they stack the site, this should be done. Who's going to get here for Arizona State? It seems like nobody's going to be there in time, and the zone gets captured. We're going to round 5.
They finally found the 4 down that they needed to get in and finish that off. Now, I am not going to lie to you, Colin. I have absolutely no idea who's about to get this defense. I believe we're tied even on ticks of progression because both teams were able to do it by getting 6 ticks in those last 2 rounds to get both zones captured. And oh my God, so it will go down to kills, and you can see on the right side, St. Edwards very much so has the advantage in terms of kills.
Yes, they do.
And they will get the final defense here inside of the round. But Arizona State's offenses have looked fantastic so far.
They have. I mean, everybody's defense just seems like a rocky road right now in Tuscan, Jesse. And it's not what we're used to. Right off the bat, you're looking at the success for Arizona State. It was looking to reside off of a rush it down mid, take control of Church, run out into the B zone, hopefully capture as many points as you can, but they get nothing done, and they're going to allow Vanity now to run it down mid for himself. He's got some help from Eons as well. A well-placed nade's going to be 3 down again for the Sun Devils and full map control for the Hilltoppers.
I like this play a lot from St. Edwards. Their last 2 offensive rounds a little bit passive. They were pretty much just allowing them to capture A. This time through, they get very aggressive through middle of the map. They find a ton of kills off the start of this round. Already a 4-life lead. Have not even allowed a tick of progression over towards A yet. And they're continuing to find kills. And Thresh is on 5. If Thresh can find streaks, it could really be a dagger inside of this round.
It's been a lot better on this 5th round for St. Edwards defense than previous. Thresh still looking for those streaks. He's got 6 in a row. Looking at him to convert that, it would be a huge pickup. This last round, but Vanity's going to get through here. Thresh drops, so no streak's going to be picked up. No tick into the B zone, but the A zone should be done. You just need Arizona State to go over there and clean it up, Jesse, but it looks like they want to dip their toes over to B once more.
Yeah, this has been the game plan all day long, where they kind of get very close to finishing off A, and instead of finishing off, they fly forward just to be annoying, just to kind of stagger pushes and defenses from St. Edwards to make St. Edwards feel like they can't ever just chalk it up and just hold on to B, because A is still always lurking inside of that. But St. Edwards, they don't really fall for the trap this time. Arizona State will finish that off. And Infectini has gotten into the offensive side or into the defensive side of the map. Ooh. As soon as he falls, though, this whole Arizona State charge is going to be completely staggered.
You need something big from Contra right now to sway St. Edwards from gaining map control. minute 4 to work with, but realistically, you only need one solid 4 down. If you're Arizona State, we saw it last time they were on the offense, and it could be their way in this time. Eon's going to take down Contra, Actini, and Fishy. They find 2 of their own, so they're going to find their way into the B zone. Stop the clock at 53 seconds. Hilltopper's looking for an answer back, and they found it. Vanity, he's going to take down Sprack. He's going to get rid of the pressure on the point. And look at this. Everything's falling to pieces right now for ASU, Jesse.
Yeah, but they were in the same situation in the last round, and they were able to pull it back, so I'm not counting them out. If your Arizona State is truly never chalked inside of this map mode combination right now, but a 6v12, it's not going to be easy. They need to find a full 4-man wipe, and Vanity finding the first blood there is not going to make it any easier.
Slides on in. Fishity's going to stay alive. 5v11, 22 seconds. It's going to be electric right now from Arizona State as they're rushing the point, but Thresh! What a nade! He's going to find all 3. Effectini gets cleaned up by Eons, and with 12 seconds left, 1 player remaining. Get your brooms out, folks, because the Hilltoppers, they're going to land. 4 seconds left. Eons is hunting. St. Edward's clean up the job, and we got ourselves a 3-0 sweep inside the Western playoffs.
Fresh's grenade just single-handedly sent the Arizona State University Sun Devils to the losers bracket. I mean, what a grenade to stop that round. A full 3-man stack coming through the top. I can't even imagine what the comms were sounding like when that grenade dropped. He's like, hey, I got them all. We're good. We're good. They only got 2 people left coming off spawn. We can close the game out. Easy peasy. Finish it off. But I mean, I don't think a 3-0 kind of staggers just how good of a series this was. I know that map 1 was a big lead for St. Edwards, but Arizona State really did keep it close. They kept the fight in, but St. Edwards was able to close it out. Map 2, I mean, they brought it all the way back to a 4-4. St. Edwards closed it out. And honestly, I think Arizona State could have won that control in probably 4. But they didn't get that first round done, and because they don't, St. Edwards, they take full advantage. They close the series out 3-2. It's just a very, very good, clean series from St. Edwards and a lot of little mistakes made by Arizona State.
I feel like every single time we look at the scoreboard, Jesse, it paints the same picture.
Fishity.
Eons versus Fishity all series long, and Fishity was doing his damnedest.
5,500 damage?
5,500 damage inside of the control. He had the biggest backpack on throughout this whole series. And this one is going to sting a little bit to lose if you are Fishity, because that was one hell of a series from your captain of the Sun Devils. But now in the lower bracket, Jesse, you're going to need the rest of the team to step up to the plate.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice if they stepped up for those last 3 maps as well, but unfortunately it was not the full case all the way through. Column 3 maps played. Fishity, the only player on Arizona State to be positive for all 3 maps. Everybody else, negative for every single map. It's just not good enough. You cannot have a map or a series like that and expect to ever win. The fact the series was that close and the slaying was that bad just shows you how fundamentally strong this Arizona State team is, but they just were not able to close it out. The slaying was too much of a factor inside of this one. St. Edwards closed it out, and St. Edwards has punched their ticket to the CCL LAN. And I mean, I'm sure that they're ecstatic. I'm sure Pally Boy is ecstatic. I mean, the St. Edwards team has taken leaps and bounds, and they took advantage of every single mistake Arizona State made today.
Everything lined up for Pally Boy's bracket as well. I was looking at it. They went out on their round 1. They went out on their round 2 versus their rival team from the start of the year. And they match up against Arizona State. He never said who was going to win from that, but I'm sure he was rooting for the Hilltoppers. And a 3-0 sweep, he must be out of his mind right there. Jump shot fade away from Thresh. Buckets, they're going to land. What a crazy way to end that. A 3-piece from 1 nade from Thresh. And they are to sweep Arizona State under the rug, Jesse. I mean, nothing more to say from this series. It was a well-fought battle, but St. Edwards, they look like the real deal heading into playoffs.
They absolutely do. They really do look like the real deal. One thing that we can kind of update the viewers on a little bit is that Oklahoma Christian, they were able to take out Buckeye Cod inside of the losers bracket. They will advance to losers round 3 tomorrow, along with SIUE taking a 3-0 victory over Illini. So that will be a matchup tomorrow, losers round 3. That will start at 6 p.m. I'm sure you can catch a stream somewhere from one of those 2 teams. I'm sure somebody will be streaming it. And then Ottawa, no surprise here. They're going to be on the revenge tour now. They take a 3-0 victory over the UCO Broncos. They will also be into losers round 3 tomorrow, awaiting the winner of Longhorn Gaming versus Texas Tech to go up against Ottawa at 6 p.m. tomorrow.
Folks, we're waiting on Texas State versus Westcliff Warriors. Up next right here, we're going to head to a break. And when we come back, you're watching the CCL Western Playoffs.